I took the seat behind my wife. The ticket wasn't hidden. It was pinned to the corkboard in our kitchen, tucked under a magnet shaped like a pear from the farmer's market we never remember to visit. The glass garden tonight, 8 p.m. row G, seat 12. Client outing, my wife Mara had said at breakfast, stealing the best part of my toast, a new corporate sponsor. We're showing them we like culture. She kissed me in that light, absent way that suggests you're both running late for your lives. By noon, the ticket had become less a piece of paper, and more I roasted a batch of Ethiopian beans at the shop. I didn't think she was cheating. That's the kind of sentence that means you're auditioning for denial. Listen, I thought she was practicing a version of herself that didn't think I could read subtitles. At 6, I locked the shop and walked toward the theater, the sky playing at melancholy without committing. One ticket for the glass garden, I told the box office. Row G if you have it. They had seat 14. The woman slid the rectangle under the glass inside. The lobby people practiced elegance. A piano near the coat check was. I took the stairs slowly and found G14. Mara arrived 3 minutes before curtain. She wore the blue dress with the squared shoulders. She wasn't alone. A man I'd seen in her office, Finch, introduced once near the Scotch at a holiday party, kept step beside her. He carried himself carefully. They sat. My seat was directly behind hers. Her perfume carried a reminder of the winter we found an orange grove by accident. She glanced around, then at her phone. "Are you here?" she typed. "Yes," I wrote. "Row G," she sent. "We'll talk after." "After," I wrote, not trusting any other tense. The house lights dimmed. The actors did what they came to do, pretend convincingly that we were all in the same room on purpose. I watched. She leaned forward at a joke that wasn't meant to be funny. Finch laughed one beat too late, like he had been practicing. When the first act ended, they clapped with their hands and not their faces. A woman in a cherry red scarf leaned in, eyes bright without the theater's help. She looked like someone I forgot to grab one. "Of course," I said, passing it over. "I'm Alex." "Naomi," she said. "I come to the previews because nobody knows how to behave yet." She glanced at Mara and Finch, then back at me. "Is this your show?" "Not exactly," I said, because honesty doesn't always require detail. Naomi flipped through the program. "The director's good," she said. "He doesn't humiliate his characters even when they deserve it." She said, "Is whether people mean what they say when the lights are back on." During intermission, Finch stood and stretched. "Drink?" he asked G12 with a tilt toward the aisle that implied inevitability. "I'll be fine," Mara said. "Water." He left. I wanted to say her name and then say my name after it. Instead, I leaned forward a little. "Do you want me to go?" I said. "No," she said. Then, after a tiny winter, "Don't make me be brave alone." Finch returned with 2 waters and a joke about the bar staff moving like glaciers in a warming world. The second act began. A line landed. "The opposite of secrecy isn't confession, it's invitation." I felt Mara sit up the way a person sits up when they hear their own mouth on stage. Audience found its coats and tried on the air. "If you need a stranger to say something audacious," she said, "say this: 'I'm here to be invited.' Most people can't hear it, but the ones who can are worth the rehearsal." She smiled, gave the program back, and vanished into the polite churn. Mara remained seated. Finch checked his watch. "I'm going to grab the sponsor rep," he said. "They wanted to meet you." "Walk?" I asked. "Before you have to be useful." We stepped into the alley. "I didn't lie," she said. "I edited." "You edited me out," I said, because if I didn't say it now, I'd spend a week trying to find a more graceful sentence and hate myself for the effort. She nodded, a movement so small it trusted me to notice it. "I wanted to keep a piece of the night for myself," she said. "To be good at something in a room where no one knows where our coffee mugs go. That sounds melodramatic." "It sounds like you're tired," I said, "of performing competence with an audience of one." She laughed the laugh I had first fallen for in a kitchen with poor lighting. "Maybe," she said. "And I didn't ask you to come because I thought you'd make it about us when I needed it to be about me. That's not fair, it's just true." "Both can be true," I said, "but I can also be here without turning into a mirror." I wanted to ask about Finch, and I didn't want to ask about Finch, and those two wants clattered. Is there anything I need to know? I asked finally because boring questions save marriages in boring alleys. No, she said, and the word was so quick it tripped. There's nothing to confess. There's something to invite if you want it. Say it, I said. She looked at the brick. I want, she said, to be wanted for my mind somewhere other than my inbox. I want to be looked at like I could break a problem with one hand and hold a person with the other. I want you to come to these nights not as my chaperone but as my witness. She shook her head, and I want, she added lower, to stop flirting with the idea of being someone else just because she is easier to applaud. I let that version stay home. Okay, I said. Then invitations, not permissions, she smiled. Rule one, I said. If you're going somewhere that makes you feel awake, say it while you're putting on your shoes. I'll come if I can, and if I can't, I won't make the night a referendum on us. Rule 2, she said. If someone starts looking at me like I'm an answer to a question they didn't bother to ask right, I tell you before it becomes interesting. Rule 3, I said. Touch in daylight, daily, even if it's a sleeve, even if it's a ridiculous hallway. Rule 4, she said. No secrets that would make a good story for other people. The city cleared its throat. Do you want to meet the sponsor? She asked, pragmatic again, not hiding it. They give money to keep rooms like this alive. I'll say thank you for the chairs, I said. And then I'll take you for a late dinner where we order something we won't finish. Inside, Finch had found the rep, silver hair. Mara was funny without being cruel, competent without the performance. Finch smiled at the right times. When it was decent to leave, we did. And a bartender, we sat at the bar. Document this, Mara asked, half teasing, half earnest. We wrote the rules on a receipt and folded it into her wallet. Who was the woman next to you? Mara asked, demolishing a breadstick red scarf. Naomi, I said. She told me the trick of second acts. And, meaning what you say when the lights are back on. She touched my elbow. I mean this, she said. Thank you for coming. Thank you for not leaving. Thank you for not making me choose between being good at my job and good at my marriage. I mean this, I said. I want to be invited, not because I'm afraid of what happens when I'm not, because I like it when your face knows I'm in the room. At the corner by the theater, Naomi reappeared, lighter scarf, quick smile. Well, she asked, as if checking on a recipe she'd given me. Second act landed, I said. Good, she said. They so rarely do. She vanished again. Small truths before they grow teeth, Mara wrote at the bottom in tiny, stubborn print. We brushed our teeth in bed. We lay facing each other without deciding what it meant. We kissed like people who know what the camera can show and still make it feel illicit. We stopped there on purpose. It made the morning possible. Days later, a new poster went up at the theater, extended run. Mara sent me a photo of it in the daylight with the caption, "Third row this time," I wrote back. Only if we keep the seats together. She sent a thumbs up, the exact wrong emoji, and if you want scandal, I can only offer an alley, a play, a program with a crease, a stranger with good advice, and a marriage that decided to be a room with more windows. If you want a moral small enough to tape to a fridge. The opposite of secrecy isn't confession, it's invitation. And if you forget, sit in row G and let the second act do what it was written to do when the lights come back on.